If you are a soon-to-be mom or you are a breastfeeding mom, but your milk production is low, please don't skip this particular video. Let me tell you something. No matter the amount of calories you take, no matter the bowl of rice you take, no matter the lactational cookies you take, if you are not aware of these things I'm going to be sharing with you on this particular video today, trust me, your milk production is going to be low, and that is going to be evidenced by your baby's weight loss, especially if you are breastfeeding your baby exclusively. You are not giving any formula. Good day everyone, and welcome back to Nurses Lecture Room. My name is Mercy Mary, popularly known as the Nurse with a Difference, and I make learning easy and accessible for all my viewers. Today I'm going to be sharing with you 10 tips that is going to help you increase your milk supply. These 10 tips, I have applied them and they worked effectively well. And the first one I'm going to be sharing with you, which is the most important, is breastfeed regularly. Yes, I'm going to be explaining this to you. In a few weeks of life, when a baby is born, they feed between 8 to 12 times within 24 hours. It could be every 2 hours, every 3 hours, every 1 hour, but they feed regularly 8 to 12 times within 24 hours. Yes. So what I advise you at this point, don't place your baby on a strict schedule by saying, oh, 2 p.m., 4 p.m., 6 p.m., 9 p.m., I'll feed the baby. No. Try not to place your baby on a strict schedule, but rather, whenever they call for the food, give them. Do you know why? Because an increase in demand increases supply. That is how our body works. I want to explain this particular point very well. So as a breastfeeding mom, if your baby is breastfeeding constantly, you are putting the baby to breast regularly, your baby is already sending a message to the brain: produce more, I need more, produce more, I need more. But if you are not putting your baby to the breast regularly, the body feels, oh, you don't need any more, so there is no need for me to produce. So when it comes to breastfeeding, it's similar to economics. An increase in demand increases supply. A decrease in demand decreases supply. So the more your baby says, I need more, the more the supply goes in. But if your baby is not there to say, I need more, definitely supply is going to go down. So if you want to increase your breast milk production, it's advisable you feed your baby on demand. You breastfeed as often as you can. Then the second tip I have to share with you is ensure that your baby is latching properly. What do I mean by that? Ensure that your baby is sucking properly. Now the question is, Nurse Mercy Mary, how do I know that my baby is sucking properly? One of the good signs that your baby is sucking properly is that there is latching with no pain or just mild pain at the very beginning. So if your baby is sucking your breast and there is no pain, that is a good sign. And also, your baby's mouth is wide open. Not like if your baby's mouth is wide open, that is a good sign. And you start hearing swallowing. When you start hearing that swallowing, or you see it around this place, that's a good sign. And also, if you see a slight movement of the ear, it's not big, just slight movement of the ear, that is a good sign that your baby is latching properly. Because when your baby is latching properly, it simply means enough signal is going to the brain, telling the brain, produce more, produce more. Remember, an increase in demand increases supply, but a decrease in demand actually decreases supply. So make sure your baby is well positioned and make sure your baby is latching properly. Then the third point I have to share with you is offer both breasts at each feeding. Whenever you want to feed the baby, finish with one, then move to the other. What I advise is that don't quickly move from one breast to another. Oh, few seconds, then take it. No, because your baby is going to get the fore milk and not get a hind milk. I'm going to be explaining this fore and hind milk in another video. But make sure your baby latch fully on this breast and take it to the other breast to latch properly. That is going to go a long way to send to the brain that, oh, there's no milk in the breast, we have to produce more. But if your baby latch on one, there might be milk in the other breast, and the body will like, okay, let's relax, there's milk in the other breast, the baby is going to get the other breast, so no need for us to start production. So make sure your baby latch on both breasts. It's going to go a long way to help. Then the fourth point I have to share with you is empty the breast after each feeding. That's a good tip. It's going to help you increase your breast milk supply. Let me tell you something, what to do. So after your baby finish feeding, you know, sometimes the baby feeds on this breast, and when it goes to the other one, might not be able to finish up or empty it properly. Generally, your baby might not be able to empty both breasts. So what is advised is for you to hand express or use a breast pump to empty both breasts at each feeding. So when you empty the breast, it sends a message to the brain that, oh, there's nothing for our baby to eat. Production begin. So the the body starts making breast milk in order to like increase the supply. So after your baby finish feeding, it's advisable you empty the breast. That's what I advise. Okay, advisable you empty the breast because that's going to go a long way to help you increase production. Then the fifth point I have to share with you is avoid bottles and pacifier, especially during the first 2 weeks, because when breastfeeding is not fully established and you start giving bottles and you start giving pacifier, that is not going to help your breast milk production. Okay, because when you start giving pacifier, your baby might see that pacifier as food and might not call you when he or she is hungry. So at the very few weeks of life, when breastfeeding is not fully established, it's advisable for you to do away with bottles and also do away with pacifier. I remember at the very beginning when I was trying to catch my sleep after labor, I tried using the bottles. I expressed and put in the bottles for my baby. So my baby was not latching properly, and I noticed a decrease in production, and my baby wanting the bottle more than my breast milk. So I had to stop that for a period of time. So when breastfeeding is fully established, then you can introduce bottles. Okay, especially if you want to exclusively breastfeed your baby. Then the sixth point I have to share with you is pump or express in between feeding. So if your baby has just finished feeding, give it some time, express before the next feeding, before your baby asks for milk. So expressing in between feeding kind of sends signal to the brain that it needs to produce more. It needs to produce more milk. So you don't just wait till the next feeding before you express, especially if you are certain about increasing your milk production. So after feeding, express in between, then feed again. You can hand express or you can use an electric pump. Then the seventh point I have to share with you is get plenty of sleep. Yes, get plenty of sleep. Yes, I know this is a little bit tricky because at night it's kind of very difficult for you to get that sleep that you want, but try as much as possible to make sure you get enough sleep. Because if you are not getting enough sleep, you are anxious, you are stressed out, it's going to release a particular hormone known as cortisol, and that might decrease your milk production. But getting enough sleep, getting relaxed, reducing stress, or managing stress effectively well is going to reduce that cortisol, and that is going to help with your milk production. So if you know you're not getting enough sleep, if you know you are stressed out, if you know you are passing through a lot, if you know you're not managing your stress properly, you are anxious, please and please try and see how you can work on it in order to increase your breast milk production. Then the eighth point I have to share with you is relax and massage. You may want to ask, how do I relax? Yes, relax with your baby, skin to skin. Do skin to skin with your baby and massage the breast before feeding. That is going to help with milk letdown. It's going to help with also milk production. If you do that, make sure you relax, do skin to skin with your baby and massage the breast. It's going to go a long way to help. Then the ninth point I have to share with you is eat healthy food. Yes, you can see eating is not really the number one when it comes to increasing your breast milk supply. I hear people say, oh, I'm breastfeeding. They want to finish all the food in the house. I'm breastfeeding. They want to finish everything in the house. No, eat your normal food. Eat nutritious diet. Yes, eat nutritious diet for energy. Generally, research has not really proven that the food you eat actually increases breast milk production. It's actually the demand and supply of your baby that increases breast milk production. Okay, so even if you eat heaven and earth and your baby is not latching properly, production is going to be low. All right, I think that's something we should take note of, that when there's an increased demand, there's going to be an increased supply, except those that have hormonal imbalance, that they don't even need like an increase in demand to get supply. So please and please, it's very important for you to eat nutritious diet, because that is going to make you stay healthy, and that is going to make you stay normal for your child, because food is very important. Then the last point which I'm going to be sharing with you today, and that is the number 10, is, guess what it is? Take care of yourself. Yes, please. I know it's easier said than done when it comes to having a new baby. You have to take care of yourself. Get enough rest. Drink a lot of water. Try as much as possible to avoid any negative energy. Stay around positive energy. Be the positive vibe. That is going to go a long way to help you stay sane with a newborn. Okay, you have to take care of yourself. So most times when you are taking care of the baby, if you have a child, like you have kids before, it might be stressful, but try as much as possible to prioritize yourself during that process. I know sometimes it's quite difficult, sometimes it's not easy. Prioritize yourself, take care of yourself, because your mental health is very important. Because if you drain yourself, you won't be able to take care of your child from an empty cup. So while you're trying to take care of your child, make sure you are filling yourself up. Make sure you are replenishing yourself. Because if you don't, you're not the only one that's going to suffer it. The child that you gave birth to is still going to suffer it. So when you think about the child, think about yourself. When you think about yourself, think about the child. All right. So thank you very much for staying tuned. Thank you very much for watching this video. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and also don't forget to share with a friend if you got value. For all my returning subscribers, this is Nurse Mercy Mary saying thank you. Bye and see you in our next video.